Hi everyone, welcome to another one of our Solar 60 videos. This week we're taking a slightly different approach and looking at kind of blockchain and cryptocurrency, which are obviously quite hot topics at the minute. So the question we have for Paul this week is, what is the potential impact of these new technologies on renewable energy?
There are a number of new technologies that have come to the fore recently. The Internet of Things is one, obviously, where you've got lots of sensors reporting lots of data. That data could be really used in energy systems. Obviously, you've got sensors on for heat and temperature and for flow and that kind of thing, which allows you to switch things on and off. You then got artificial intelligence, which really is using that kind of data to make intelligent decisions about what's the best way to heat your house, to use your electricity, for example. But blockchain is a really interesting one. For those in the know, they will say that the blockchain, which is the base technology underneath cryptocurrencies, for example, like Bitcoin, is as significant as the internet, could make as much of a difference to our lives. So from an energy perspective, what blockchain allows you to do is to have one version of the truth. So it has one ledger that you can see. They call it a distributed ledger system, DLT, distributed ledger technology, which allows everybody to see the same thing. So it means basically, if we're looking to trade energy, for example, or we're looking to sell energy in any way, then we can actually all see the same version of the truth with blockchain.
Oh, that's really interesting, thank you. Could you think of an example how it can kind of work in a real life scenario?
Sure. Peer-to-peer trading probably is a really good example or a way of selling energy, where if I'm generating excess energy, let's say in my solar PV system on my house, and I want to sell it to somebody across the street perhaps, or maybe I want to sell it to the national grid, or maybe that somebody wants to plug their electric vehicle into my charging point. How do we ensure that what we're actually going to generate and what we're going to sell to those people is actually obvious, and is able to be seen by everybody? Well, normally speaking, what you do is that I'd see what energy I'm generating and I would invoice somebody for it, and they'd look at it and say, does that look right or not, and they'd pay me. Whereas with blockchain, because we're both seeing the same thing, if I've generated some energy and sold it to you, you see the same as I do, and you pay me for it, and I see your payment straight away. So it's a very transparent way of dealing with, a very democratic way of doing peer-to-peer and selling energy.
It sounds like it can make some really important changes to the way we deal with energy, and also on a local and also a global scale. So that's really interesting. Thank you, Paul. But I think that's all we've got time for this week. Thank you again for tuning in, and I'd like to thank our CEO Paul for a little bit of his time.